I want to try as best I can in the next two services to conclude this series of sermons that God has given to us with the general theme of suffering and suffering with the right attitude. So I want to conclude that series of sermons today if at all possible. Once again, let's read from 1 Peter chapter 4. I would ask of you, my brothers and my sisters, please ma'am, please sir, let's commit to reading this text every day this week. For our collective morning meditation, for our collective evening meditation. Will you do that? Let's commit to reading this text from 12 to 19. After we will have read that, let's seek God collectively for healing in our land.
Amen. Amen.
Let's start at home and ask God for healing. Charity begins, then it spreads abroad. So will you join me? Will we collectively read this text in our morning and in our evening meditation, and then ask God to heal our land. Pull your family together. Take their hands and lead them in prayer. I hope I'm speaking to the church today. Because some things we ought not be absent of in our own homes. The world won't get any better if our homes don't get any better. The time it takes you to talk about everything you don't like, you could have prayed 10 times. Yeah. It's in this series, in this focus, this series of sermons, but we've got to come together, y'all. And all this playing and judging at the church ought to stop. Quit playing with God. He allowed fire to consume some fellows who were acting like priests. Well, let's read what we're going to read all week together. We ready? Beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial. As though some strange thing happy are we, for the Spirit of glory rest upon you. But busybody in other men's matters. That if any man suffer as a Christian, let him not be ashamed, but he glorify God on his behalf. For the time is come. What shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of God? If the righteous scarcely be saved, where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear? Wherefore, let them that suffer according to the will of God commit the keeping of their souls to him in well-doing, as unto faithful. All the people of God said together. Amen. 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 You may be seated in the presence of the Lord. I am to share with you today some subject that will embrace verses 17 through 19. But I don't know, excuse me, that I will do anything other than introduce it this morning. But our focus today is trusting all life to God.
Yes, sir.
Well, if you're not, thank you. Let's celebrate our young people who usher for us. Amen. If we are to suffer with him, then there is a matter of trust. We asked a question a few weeks ago, am I a friend of God? Well, if I'm a friend of God, then I trust God. Now I'm going to take one excerpt from what's going to be presented. Let me tell you how to try your friends. Now, this is a point that I'm extracting particularly from our argument from 17 through 19 for later on today, if God be pleased to let me stand again. I want to offer this to you. We too loosely call people our friends. Let me tell you what a real friend is, and you'll find it is one of my illustrations later before I go back and recap to bring us some closure on this series of sermons. Let me drop this on you. If you cannot leave all your worldly possessions in the presence of somebody in your absence, y'all trying to preach our son. We out here doing? If you cannot leave your worldly possession to somebody in your absence and not expect it to be there when you get back. Now, how many friends do you have? Think about it, since everybody's my friend. How many friends do you have? That you can leave everything with them and not have to worry about it when you return. Who do you trust enough? Oh, y'all. I think I ought to be preaching right there. Who do you trust enough to look out for your stuff in your absence? And then expect when you return to find it like it was when you left it. Anybody you can't do that with is not your friend. And you got some work to do. Because you might want to try to find you at least one before you leave here. Yeah, that one daughter, that may not be heavy, but it ought to hold you. Because somebody walking around here with an inflated ego, talking about you got all these friends. See, I'm getting all kind of help this boy. Hush, Matt. Well, thank you for your witness. Think about it. Are you really thinking about it? So, if you cannot trust them with your stuff, why would you trust them at all? So maybe we need to find some trustworthy friends. Well, I wish I had 3 witnesses. That's why God calls us and summons us together every week, because that's some stuff we need to be able to identify with as it relates to being His boss. And how we relate to that is on this way. When we come for the purpose of worship, God does some extraordinary things. I said we come for the purpose of worship. God does some extraordinary things. God moves in mysterious when we come for worship. Amen. Amen. Big man, hold up your hand. Hold your hand up, Mama. I was presented on last week after we tried to give God the glory. And it seemed as if most of us worshiped that a woman who was to be placed on dialysis was healed last Sunday. Wait a minute. Don't you expect it? There is no telling. Man, I'm going to leave y'all alone. There is no telling what God can do when we present ourselves in His presence without our personal agendas. For they that worship Him must worship Him. He works miracles in this place. He works miracles in this place. Some of them you don't even know about. But He works miracles when the people of God come together and worship Him. And I'll say it again. You can't play and judge and receive a miracle at the same time. Because the only person who is qualified to judge is God. And He starts the judgment at His house. You just read it. My hope is that you understand is that He judges us for the purpose of keeping us in our right relationship to Him. God Almighty. But others are being judged because their end is near. I don't want to be hit by no fallout. Or hanging with folks who have a reprobate mind. Too many of us are hanging with reprobates who care nothing about God or the kingdom. And we give them first dibs on everything in our lives. So you're leaving all of your possessions in the presence of thieves who try to steal everything you have, including your joy. And they sure try to steal and rob your relationship. with God and with one another. Let's stop condoning people who speak ill of the church.
Amen. Come on.
What we endeavored to do earlier on was to deal with the fact that when we suffer while we're serving, if our attitude is right, we shouldn't be surprised that we're being picked on. Oh man. We've been picked out to be picked on because we've been chosen. You're not being picked on, you're not experiencing suffering, then chances are you're not here. Amen. And so we've discovered things while vacationing. Why we discover some things, and we have to look on that which is this covetous eye. We have to be careful about that.
Yes, sir.
Because sometimes we miss what we have by coveting what others have.
Not good. Not good.
To look upon that which belongs to another might well mean to be too interested in other people's affairs. And we've got to not be meddling busybodies. Amen. That's treacherous. There's a third possibility, my brothers and my sisters, that which is foreign to oneself, you cannot explain me because you're not me. And there are some things that are foreign to us because we don't know the whole story for any of us.
Amen.
You don't know what we're going through? I wish I had 3 witnesses. You don't know what I've been through? You don't know what I'm about to go through. But you will know that I have been suffering because I will not stop in my relationship with God just because it gets hard sometimes. You can't give up when you're a child of God. You have to endure suffering like a good soldier. There is a war going on. And we wrestle not against flesh and blood. So I've tried to move us through this series of sermons to help us to know that we have to serve while suffering with the right attitude. We also have to know, my brothers and my sisters, that it is a blessing to suffer with the Lord. Because with the right attitude, when we suffer with Him, we reign with Him, we identify with Him. There is something about us that looks like Him. I don't know, sis, how anybody feels about it, but I hope that when everybody leaves on Sunday morning, that they did not see Pastor Gillespie, that they did not see Mark B. Spencer. I hope they saw him. Somebody didn't get it. So I'm going to work hard as I can to diminish me, so somebody can leave here having seen him. Because you'll do some stuff when you see him that you won't do just because you see me. We almost have to see him in us. And I want to ask a question right now. Who do you look like right now? Because somebody's looking at you other than when you want them to look. So you'll catch us off guard. when we've been holy every other time. And they may just catch us while we're human and miss us while we're so-called holy. Wish I had somebody. So you suffer with him because his light shines in your countenance when you don't react the way people expect you to. You can find all kind of support. I'm done. You can find all kind of support when you react like humans ought to react. But when you respond like the title you wear, then folk won't remember what you had on. Folk won't remember what your hair looked like. Folk won't remember if you were wearing designer clothes. But please, sir, please, ma'am, I would see Jesus. If I could just see Jesus, it'll fix some stuff for me. If I could just see Jesus. Can I just be raw with you and say, everybody know you bad. But how many folk can say you're good? And they can't see that in the Lester. They have to see that in the Jesus. And if I show more Lester than I show Christ, I haven't done anything but try to elevate my name. But if I act like him, they don't have to know my name. They'll know there's power in his name. Because at his name, every knee. At his name. At the name of Jesus. Not at the name of Gillespie. Not at the name of Fitzgerald. Not at the name of Arnell. But at the name of Jesus. Maybe some folks haven't been converted because they're too busy with your name. Maybe some lives haven't changed because they fixed on your name. But have you ever shown them who he is in your life that they want to be like you? The reason they want to be like you because they see him. That's why I can do all things. How do you take that? I can do all things. How do you put up with it? I can do all things. Not through Lester, but I can do all things. Through Christ, who strengthens me. I'm done. I can do all things. I told you often that if I don't celebrate, I haven't preached. I told you often that if I don't sing, I haven't really done anything. But I hope there's been some power in the preaching that will not just excite people, but that will incite people to want to live for him so that they can see his light on your countenance. Now, I do like to celebrate. I celebrate because I'm happy I'm done with my assignment. That's what makes me happy. I'm scared to start, but I shout when I'm done. And I just hope somebody in here is able to take from this place that when you suffer with the right attitude, while you're serving, there are some benefits that God will not otherwise give you if your attitude ain't right while you're suffering. Let's work harder on looking like him. Well, hallelujah. Well, thank you, Jesus. Hallelujah anyhow. Hallelujah anyhow. On a hill called Calvary, he suffered with the right attitude. He said, Father, forgive them. but got up like a God on Sunday. I just want to see a couple of hands for some folk who used to be Friday night folk. But now you Sunday morning folk. You got Sunday morning joy, Sunday morning peace, Sunday morning deliverance. Sunday morning has given you power that Friday took from you. So I just tell a couple of folks, stop living in Friday. Stop wearing the cross, carry that, start wearing the empty tomb. So the joy is in the fact that he got up. Can I find some empty tomb, folks? I know we like to feel bad and we read the news and we cry and all this pitiful shame, but I wish I could find somebody that know what happened Sunday morning.
Yes, sir.